Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. 60-year-old man held for trapping death of his ex-girlfriend's partner. A 60-year-old man from Retirement District in Watson, St. Anne, is in police custody after allegedly trapping the partner of his former spouse to death. Dead is Roy Alexander of Trees District, Alexandra, St. Anne. Reports are that around 6 p.m. on Friday, Alexander went to visit his girlfriend, who has a child with the accused. The police say the 36-year-old woman, who lives in Queets Heights, Discovery Bay, and the accused are no longer in a relationship. They say the accused man had also gone to visit his child. Alexander reportedly saw the accused man at the premises on his arrival. It is unclear what led to the altercation, during which Alexander was trapped several times. The police were called to the scene and the injured man taken to hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The accused was held later that night and remains in custody pending further investigation. Third person dies in St. Anne crash, 10 remain hospitalized. The third person has died as a result of injuries sustained in Friday's two-vehicle crash along the Lunlaugh Main Road in St. Anne, bringing the number of fatalities to 3. The identity of the victim has not been released. He reportedly succumbed around 12:30 p.m. on Saturday. A car with 3 fishermen on board reportedly crashed into a bus transporting private security personnel. Alwyn Simmet, a fisherman from Steertown in St. Anne, who was driving the car, was pronounced dead at the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital shortly after. A second person later died. 10 people from the accident remain in hospital, with 2 in moderate to severe condition, hospital CEO Delroy Morgan said Saturday. The crash happened Friday morning after the car that was traveling eastward to St. Anne's Bay allegedly got out of control and slammed into the bus, which was traveling in the opposite direction. At least 21 people were reportedly taken from the scene for treatment. PSOG disappointed about radio presenter gifting bat during interview. The private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOG, has expressed disappointment at the recent viral social media video in which a female presenter at a well-known radio station was seen presenting a gift-wrapped bat to a man who is before the court facing several criminal charges. The individual who received the gift was Ramon Silvera, who gained notified last week after he was caught on camera verbally abusing passengers of a taxicab in an expletive-laden tirade while threatening them as he held a piece of board in his hand. Silvera, who describes himself as a professional clown, demanded that the passengers exited the vehicle that was operating at the same time taxi drivers withdrew their services, as they demanded a ticket amnesty from the government. Their demand has been rejected, and Silvera has since been charged with assault at common law, disorderly conduct, and using indecent language. The radio station host joked with Silvera after she handed him the bat, urging him to use it responsibly. In a statement on Saturday, the PSOG said, "We implore media stakeholders to be mindful of their incredible responsibility in supporting and advocating for public order and the rule of law. As citizens, we must refrain from actions that in any way promote lawlessness. Let us remain vigilant as a nation in safeguarding values of decency, harmony, and lawful behavior in all our actions," it added. Since the release of the video, companies such as Digicel have withdrawn advertising from the radio station with immediate effect. Digicel advised in a statement on Twitter that the action will last for 30 days. Edwin Allen High School runs out of part money, discontinues lunches for beneficiaries. The Clarendon-based Edwin Allen High School on Friday announced the discontinuation of lunches for students under the Program of Advancement through Health and Education part for the rest of the school term. The current term ends in December. A memo with the update had circulated widely on social media. "Once we receive additional part funds from the government, then we will resume this arrangement," it said. The school's principal, Jermaine Harris, said the announcement was nothing abnormal because this has been a situation that we usually find ourselves in. "The funds the government sent have been used up for this term, so we usually inform parents. It's standard procedure," he said. Harris added, "It's just that you get funding, and you at the school try to stretch it as much as you can because you get $150 per student, but a lunch costs $350. So, if you should give a student $150, it would not be adequate." Robert Green, the school's chairman, declined to comment, stating that he had no information on the matter. Attempts to get a comment from Maureen Dyer, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, were futile, as several calls to her phone on Saturday went unanswered. Part is a government cash transfer program that targets Jamaica's most vulnerable populations. Traffic changes for JLP Conference on Sunday. The public session of the Jamaica Labour Party JLP Annual Conference is set for Sunday, November 20 at the National Arena, and the police have issued advisories for attendees. No firearms, drugs, knives or ice breaks, machete, umbrellas, long wands, glass bottles or any other item that can be used to cause serious harm or injury will be allowed inside the venue, the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF said in a release on Saturday. It added that licensed firearm holders should also make the necessary arrangements to ensure the safeguarding of their weapons. All persons entering the venue will be subjected to a search, and no vending will be allowed outside of the designated area, the police stated. As for motorists, the police warned that all provisions of the Road Traffic Act will be strictly enforced. The Jamaica Constabulary Force said the full force of law will be brought on anyone who is found in contravention of the law. Drivers are warned not to allow passengers to hang from the doors of motor buses, sit on top of motor vehicles, or have any part of the body protruding from the motor vehicles. Drivers are to ensure that they obey the speed limit and desist from dangerous and careless driving on the nation's road, the police stated. There will also be some traffic changes on Sunday, starting at 8 a.m. to facilitate the smooth staging of the event. At 8 a.m., Otterwind Drive will be one-way, heading towards the National Arena easterly. Motorists traveling from this direction will turn left onto Roosevelt, right onto Stanton Terrace, right on Mountain View Avenue, right onto Otterwind Drive and into the car park. Police checkpoints will be set up at the intersection of Roosevelt Avenue and Sutton Terrace, as well as at the intersection of Mountain View Avenue and Otterwind Drive. Only vehicles with VIP passes will be allowed to pass these checkpoints and head towards the National Arena. There will be no throughway along Otterwind Drive between gates E4 to the Bob Marley statue at the intersection of Roosevelt Avenue. The area will be available to pedestrians traffic only. Residents traveling from Mountain View Avenue to the Lofts apartment will be allowed to turn onto Otterwind Drive to access the apartment complex. Residents of Stadium Gate will be able to leave and enter the community by using Otterwind Drive as a one-way easterly only. There will also be the road closure on the day of the event. Latham Avenue will be closed to vehicular traffic at the junction. With Roosevelt Avenue, only residents will be allowed access. Except for the JLP leader and residents of the respective community, all the vehicles traveling from Old Hope Road, including those transporting delegates and supporters, will be diverted along Stanton Terrace via Mountain View Avenue to access the KSAC car park. VIPs will enter through gates E1 and park at Arena North. Others will park in the general parking area, which will be accessed via gates E4 and E5 and the KSAC car park across from the stadium car park. No parking is allowed along Otterwind Drive, Roosevelt Avenue, Sutton Terrace, and Mountain View Avenue. Vehicles found in contravention with these changes will be towed. Motorists will be asked to position their vehicles facing the direction where the traffic will flow at the event to assist with traffic flow. After the event, from Gate E4 towards Tomrincan Avenue, Otterwind Drive will be one-way westerly. Roosevelt Avenue will operate as normal. From Gate E5 towards Mountain View Avenue, Otterwind Drive will be one-way easterly. Motorists traveling on North Avenue and Central Avenue towards Otterwind Drive will only be allowed to turn right onto Otterwind Drive. Emergency vehicles will use these roads to access the Bustamante Hospital for Children. Latham Avenue will be one-way northwesterly towards Old Hope Road. For about 45 minutes after the event, residents of Stadium Gardens will be able to exit the community by turning left onto Otterwind Drive, but will not be able to enter or re-enter the community. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell